Hello students, in the previous class we did the case of the beam with one side overhang. So in today's class we are going to look for the cases in which the simply supported beam is having the overhang on both the sides. Here we can see in this figure that the beam AB is overhang on both the sides from the supports, so it is extending beyond the support A and support B also by a distance of 1 meter and 2 meter respectively, and it is subjected to the point loads of 3 kilonewton on both the sides of the overhang. Now to draw the free body and shear force, the shear force and the bending moment diagram for such a case, as usual we will proceed with finding the reactions of the support A and B. Obviously the first equation will be the balance of forces in the vertical direction, so our support reaction RA plus RB should be equal to the vertical downward force, which are 3 kilonewton each on both the ends of the overhang, so 3 plus 3, so this gives us RA plus RB is equal to 6 kilonewton. Now the second relation between the reactions A and B can be, RA and RB can be obtained by using the moment equations. So let's take the moment about the support B for all the forces and the reactions. So the support reaction RA is acting at a distance of 3 meter from the point B, so there will be a moment of magnitude RA into 3 which will be acting in a anti-clockwise fashion. Then there is a point load of 3 kilonewton acting at a distance of 4 meter from the point B, so which will cause a clockwise movement of magnitude 3 into 4 kilonewton meter in the clockwise direction. So it is opposite to the reaction moment RA into 3, so we will use a negative sign here. Then there is a third point load, 3 kilonewton is acting at a distance of 2 meter from the support B. It will cause a movement of anti-clockwise fashion of magnitude 3 into 2 kilonewton meter, so it comes with a positive sign here in this equation. The net sum should be equal to 0. This provides us the value of reactions RA and RB as 2 and 4 kilonewton respectively. Now drawing the shear force diagram, we can start from any end. Let's start from the right hand side. So we assume the beam to be cut anywhere between A and C, and if we draw the free body diagram for the portion here, so this is only 3 kilonewton force, the beam is cut over here, this distance is x. Okay, now to balance this applied 3 kilonewton load, there will be a shear force that will be acting in the upward direction on this portion, that will also be equal to 3 kilonewton. So our shear force equation will be Fx equal to 3. As it is not dependent on x, so at both the ends of the span AC, that means FC and FA both will be equal to 3 kilonewton. We go ahead and find the equation for shear force between span A and B, and for this we assume the beam to be cut somewhere between the A and B. Now this time there are two forces, one is the applied force and another is the reaction force at the support A. They both are in opposite direction, so their net sum, algebraic sum, will be 3 minus RA, that will be acting as a shear force between span AB. as Ra is equal to 2, so that gives us the net 1 kilonewton, and it will remain constant for the entire span, so that's why Fa and Fp both will be 1 kilonewton. Finally, for the span BD, if we cut the beam here, so there will be support reaction B, support reaction A, so they also appear, and then the applied force of 3 kilonewton. So the net sum will be minus 3 kilonewton, and it will be constant during the entire span, not dependent on x. So Fb and Ft both will be equal to minus 3. We will draw the shear force diagram with the help of values that we have determined. So as Fc and Fa equal to 3, so from C to A we get this horizontal line. Then at A the value drops to 1 kilonewton, so we get this vertical drop and we reach to the value of 1 kilonewton. Then up to B it remains 1 kilonewton, and then at B the value drops to minus 3, so it becomes a vertical drop of minus 3 kilonewton, and then it remains constant to minus 3 kilonewton. So this is our shear force diagram that we will obtain from this equations. Now for the bending moment diagram, again we need to draw the free body diagram by cutting the beam anywhere between AC, and only there is one force, so that is acting at a distance x from the cut section, so 3 into x, which we evaluate for the span ends, extreme ends, x equal to 0 and x equal to n, x equal to 1, that gives you value of MC and MA as 0 and 3. Then to write the equation for the span AB, assume the beam to cut at anywhere between AB, take this value as x, so there will be a moment of 3 into x, and then there is the opposite moment because of the reaction Ra, which will be acting at a distance of x minus 1 meter from here, so this gives you value of 3x minus Ra into x minus 1. When you evaluate this equation for the position x equal to 1 and x equal to 4 meter, for that means for the point A and B, this gives you MA as 3 and the bending moment at point B as 6. Finally, for the span BD, you cut the beam between A, B and D, and now this is 3 into x minus Ra into x minus 1 minus Rb into x minus 4, because this distance is 4 meter, so this distance here will be x minus 4. So this gives you 3x minus Ra into x minus 1 minus Rb into x minus 4, which gives you the value of bending moment at point B and D as 6 and 0. Now we will draw this bending moment diagram here using these value. So from 0 to 3 kilonewton meter, and then 3 to 6 kilonewton meter, and finally to 0. As if you see that this beam will bend or flex like in this shape, and as our sign convention we have taken, we assume this drooping phase to be negative, so I have drawn this bending moment diagram on the negative side of the reference axis. There is one more thing that you should know here, that in this case of simply supported beam, the bending moments are not 0 at the supports. Okay, it is 0 at the extremes end of the beam. Now let's look the case where the simply supported beam, which is having overhang on both the sides, is subjected to a uniformly distributed load. So this is a beam DBAC, which is supported at point B and point A, and it is subjected to a uniformly distributed load of 1 kilonewton per meter over the entire span of the beam. To determine the shear force values, let's first find the reaction at the point A and point B. So first reaction, our equation will be Ra plus Rb which is acting in the upward direction should be equal to the applied force, that is W kilonewton per meter multiplied by the total length of the beam, that is 6 meter. So this becomes W into 6. As W is 1, so this gives you RA plus RB equal to 6. Now I could have gone and identified the or find out the moment equation also, but you see this beam is completely symmetrical. The beam is having overhang, equal overhang on both the sides beyond the support. It is subjected to a UDL over the entire span. So my RA plus RB is 6, so they both reactions are same, so that means RA and RB both will be equal to 3 kilonewton each. Even if you use the moment equation, you will arrive at the same conclusion. Now for the shear force diagram, let's start with the span AC and assume to beam cut anywhere between point A and C, and let's draw the free body diagram for this right hand side portion. Let's assume that the length is X from the point C. So the net load that is acting on this particular portion will be W into X, as W is 1, so that becomes only equal to X. When you calculate the value for the extreme ends of the span, that means for point C and point A, using this equation, you will get FC as 0 and shear force at point A as 1 kilonewton. Then for the span AB, you cut the beam anywhere between A and B, draw the free body diagram for the remaining right hand side portion of it. Now in this case, you have applied force of W working on a span of X meter, so W dot X, that will appear as a shear force, and then there is a reaction force which is acting in the upward direction, RA, which will be acting at a distance of X minus 1 meter. So this gives you pardon me, the shear reaction force is RA, so in this shear force equation it will be simply WX minus RA. So that gives us, because W is equal to 1, so that gives us the X minus 3 as this equation. Now when we evaluate it for X equal to 1, that means for this end, and for X equal to 5, that is for the another end, you will get the shear force value as minus 2 and 2 respectively. Finally, you cut the beam between D and B, draw the free body diagram for this side of the portion beam, and then you write the equation for this. So you have W into X minus RA minus RB, which are acting in the opposite direction to the applied load. So for the X equal to 5 and X equal to 6, it gives you the value of shear force at point B as minus 1 and shear force at point D as 0. When we draw this with these values of the shear force that we have obtained for different points, it will give us this interesting shape or curve. So from point C, we have the value as FC equal to 0. You start from here, then FA is equal to 1. So it goes, because there is a straight line relationship, it is a linear variation from 0 to 1. So you get a straight line or ramp up here. Then at point A, the value drops to minus 2. So from 1 to it goes to minus 2. This drop is there. And then there is again linear change, because again equation is dependent on X linearly. So from minus 2 to it goes to plus 2. There is a positive change here and a ramp up here. Then we have for the span BD, we have a drop at point B as up to minus 1. So from 2 to you reach to minus 1. And then finally to 0 at the other end. So this way we get this kind of a shape for the shear force diagram. We see that for the span AB, somewhere exactly at the middle, it will become 0. Okay. For the bending moment diagram, again it will be simple thing, we have done it before. So you cut the beam between AC, the load values is WX. You can assume the uniformly distributed load to be acting exactly at the middle of the distance here. So that middle distance from the cut section will be X by 2. So this distance is X by 2. So W into x by 2 will give you Wx square by 2 for the span AC in the bending moment diagram, which is equal to x square by 2 because W is 1. This gives us the value of bending moment at point C and point A as 0 and 0.5. Then for the next span, you cut the beam between A and B here, let's say, and you say that this distance is x. So the first term will remain the same, Wx square by 2, but there will be a negative moment because of the reaction force Ra, which will be acting at a distance of x minus 1. So minus Ra into x minus 1 will appear in this our bending moment equation, which when you substitute x equal to 1 and x equal to 5 for position A and B, you get the bending moment as 0.5 both at the both ends. Finally, for the span DB, if you cut the beam between D and B anywhere, so Wx square by 2 is there from previous equation, Rax minus 1 was also there, and then there is a new term appearing, that is Rb into the distance between this point B and the cut section, which is x minus 5. So you get Rb into x minus 5 as the negative sign here, which when evaluated for x equal to 5 will give you Mb as 0.5 and Md as 0. Now we will draw these values of the bending moment, and we'll start with the 0 value for the point C. So this is here 0, and then for point A it goes to 0.5, and you see between these 2 points, between point C and A, this value is giving you a parabola. This is not a straight line, you see this is a parabola here because we have a quadratic relationship with x. Then for the span AB, at both the ends you have the value as 0.5. You see here it is 0.5 and here also it is 0.5. But mind it, from this equation we can see there is a quadratic variation or the parabolic variation from between point A and B. So this is not a straight line. Please don't make a mistake of joining the point C and A with the straight line because it is 0.5. You have already checked that the equation is giving you a parabolic curve between these 2 points. So you need to join these 2 points by a parabolic shape or by a parabola. Now we really still don't know that what value this end will take here between span A and B. So somewhere between span A and B it will be giving you a maximum bending moment, and it is obvious also from this shear force diagram curve because shear force is getting a 0 value between span A and B. And I have already told you before that wherever the shear force diagram is 0 between the span, the bending moment will reach to the maximum value. So in order to identify that position, we have our shear force equation for the span AB as x minus 3. If you equate it to 0, this gives you x equal to 3 value. So x equal to 3 is the value where you get the maximum bending moment between this span. So you substitute x equal to 3 in our bending moment equation for span AB. This will give you the value of bending moment, maximum bending moment as 1.5. So now you can connect this curve here because you know exactly the bending moment value at the middle of it. So you say okay, it is 0.5 here at this end, it is 0.5 here at this end, okay, and in between it is parabola with a maximum value reaching to 1.5 kilonewton meter. So this is the way we plot this bending moment diagram. Finally from 0.5 it is again reaching to 0, but again there is a quadratic relationship, so again this is the parabola. So you see all these curves here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all these curves are basically parabolic curves because of the quadratic relationship we are getting in our all equations for the bending moment. So far in all these cases that we have taken for the simply supported beam or the cantilever beam, we have considered only the point loads or the uniformly distributed load. Sometimes it is possible that a couple or a moment is being applied on the beam at any point. Like in this particular case, you have a cantilever beam which is given to you. The beam is ABCDE, and this beam is subjected to a point load of 10 kilonewton here, and at the free end, and then 10 kilonewton per meter for say span CD of a uniformly distributed load. Then apart from these two forces, there is a 40 kilonewton meter torque, the couple or the moment is being applied at point B. So at this position B, there is a couple or a moment is being applied of the magnitude 40 kilonewton meter. Now for drawing the shear force diagram for the cantilever beam, we will start from the, if you have remembered already from our previous lecture, we start from the free end and you assume the beam to be cut anywhere between D and E. So there is only load 2n kilonewton is acting. Shear force equation will be simply Fx is equal to 10, which will give you the constant value for from point E to D as 10 kilonewton. Between span CD, it will be 10 plus shear force value because of the applied load. So if you cut the beam anywhere between C and D, so this will be 10 plus 10 into x minus 2, because this is the distance for which the uniformly distributed load will be acting, which is x minus 2. So our shear force equation will be 10 plus 10 into x minus 2, which for point D and point C will give you the value as 10 kilonewton and 30 kilonewton if you substitute x equal to 2 and x equal to 4 in this equation. Finally, for the span AC, for the span AC, if you cut the beam anywhere between here or here, it doesn't matter, because you see this beam is subject to a couple or a moment. So that couple or moment will not affect the shear force values. Okay, it will only affect the bending moment values. So because of this, I have taken this span, the complete span AC together. For that entire span, my equation for the shear force will be 10 plus 10 into 2, because this is now the complete load that will be acting on the right hand side of the beam. So 10 into 2 is the amount of load because of the uniformly distributed load. So that gives me Fx equal to 30. So please do remember that due to the applied couple or moment, the shear force equation is not going to change. It will not affect your shear force equation. Then you can draw the shear force diagram as we have discussed earlier. So it is very straightforward that you start with the value of 10 for D and E. So from D and E it is 10, then from point D to C it is increasing to 30 with a linear relationship, because the equation is linear here, and then it remains constant up to the point A as 30. Now let's draw the bending moment diagram. Our bending moment diagram for the span DE and span CD will be the same as we have discussed earlier when I was discussing with you the cantilever beam. So our equations will be simply 10x for the span DE, and for the span CD it will be 10x plus 10 into x minus 2 whole square by 2. So you already know how to arrive at these equation for the bending moment for these spans. So far so good. So when you have reached to the CD, you can evaluate this value for x equal to 2 and x equal to 4. That means for this point, D point and point C, you can evaluate the value of bending moment using this equation. Now let's reach to the span BC. For the span BC, if you assume the beam to be cut anywhere between this and you consider only the right hand side portion of the beam, the equation will be 10x. That means force 10 acting at a distance of x meter from this cut section. Then you have the total 10 into 2 kilonewton load, 10 kilonewton per meter acting at a distance of 2 meter. So 10 into 2 kilonewton load, and you can assume this to be acting exactly at the middle of this span as for the purpose of calculating movement. So this distance, because it's 3 meter, so that value will be x minus 3. So 10 into 2 into x minus 3 will appear here, which when you evaluate for the point C and point D, that means for the point C and point B, that means for x equal to 4 and x equal to 6, this will give you the value as 60 and 120. Now when you write the equation for the span AB, mind it, you need to now consider the applied couple. So when you cut the beam anywhere between A and B, your equation will have the terms of 10x and 10 into 2 into x minus 3. But now you need to consider the moment that is being applied. You see all these movements because of the applied loads that means because of this point load and because of this uniformly distributed load are in clockwise fashion, while this 40 kilonewton meter load is acting in an anti-clockwise fashion. So that's why there is a negative sign will come over here in the equation for the bending moment. Now you can use this equation to evaluate the bending moment or calculate the bending moment for x equal to 6, that means for the point B, and for x equal to 8, that means for the fixed end point A as 140. You can draw the bending moment diagram using the values which you have just calculated. So you start with the value 0, then you go to 20 by a straight line. So this is a straight line from 0 to 20. Then from 20 it goes to 60 from point D to point 6 with a quadratic relationship, that means a parabola will appear. So this is a parabolic curve here between 20 and 60. Then from 60 it reaches to 120 with a linear relationship, so there will be a straight line from 60 to 120. This is the straight line here. And then at the point B itself, the value from 120 drops to 80, so there will be a vertical drop of the value from 120 to 80. And finally from 80 it reaches to 140 with a linear relationship, so again a straight line here. So in this curve there is only one part, that is a parabola, remaining all will be the straight line. And because of the applied couple, the value of the bending moment will drop from 120 to 80 exactly at the point where the couple is being applied. If this couple would have been instead of anti-clockwise direction, if it is given as a clockwise direction, your value would be positive and the value will change from 120 to 160 because of the 40 kilonewton meter couple applied in the clockwise fashion. So that change would have taken place. Now this is the case of the simply supported beam with couples. Now this is interesting because in the simply supported beam we need to also calculate the reactions, support reactions, and for the support reactions case we need to use the equations of static equilibrium, that means the force balance equation and the moment balance equation. Force balance equation is here straightforward because there is only in this diagram there is only one 8 kilonewton load that is being applied, so the support reaction Ra plus Rb will be equal to 8. So that is our force equilibrium in the vertical direction. Now for the calculating the moment equation or deriving the moment equation, we need to consider the applied couples also in this. So there is the applied couple of, we can see here 6 kilonewton meter and 12 kilonewton meter here, which are acting in the clockwise fashion. So when you take the moment of, let's say this we take the moment about the point B A, so Rb is the support reaction which is acting at a total distance of 8 meter from the point A, which is acting in a anti-clockwise fashion. So Rb into 8 is the amount of movement that is being created because of the support reaction Rb about the point A, and this is in an anti-clockwise direction. Then you see that there is a 12 kilonewton meter load, or the couple rather, is acting in a clockwise fashion, so which is opposite to the movement that is created because of the support reaction Rb. So that's why you get a minus sign here. Same, then you have the another couple of 6 kilonewton meter in the same direction, so you have minus 12, minus 6, and then finally you reach to the 8 kilonewton load which is acting at a distance 1 meter from the point A. So there will be a moment because of that, that will be of 8 into 1. This is also in a clockwise fashion. So all these couples which are acting here, they are in the clockwise fashion except the Rb into 8 which is in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the equation that you obtain for the our moment balance, which gives us the value of Rb as 3.25, and finally the Ra that you will get will be 8 minus 3.25, that is 4.75 kilonewton. Now for making the shear force diagram, as I have already told you that the applied couple doesn't affect the value of the shear force. So let's say we start from the span AE and we cut the beam between A and E. So there is only, and we consider the left hand side portion of the beam, so there is only reaction force Ra that is acting, which is of magnitude 4.75 here. So our Fx equation will be equal to simply 4.75. not dependent on x, so it will remain constant for between A and E as 4.75 kilonewton. Then you can consider the entire span EB. There is nothing happening between the span EB except the couples are being applied. As I told you that they don't affect the shear force value, so we are writing the shear force equation for the entire span EB. So that will be 4.75 minus 8, which is acting in the opposite direction. So 4.75 minus 8, that gives us the FE and FB value, or the value between E and B as constant as minus 3.25 kilonewton, which you can draw here. So you start from point A as 4.75, you choose here 4.75, up to point E it is 4.75, then it drops to at point E to minus 3.25, so you have a drop here, and then you go again to the 3.25 up to the point B here. Now when we draw the bending moment diagram and we start with the left hand side of the beam, so let's start with the span AE. So we have our bending moment equation. If you cut here, so you have RA into X, so that is 4.75 into X, our moment equation, which gives us the value of A and bending moment at point A and E as 0 and 4.75, and then you cut the beam between E and D. So now you have two forces, RA and 8 kilonewton, so which are acting at a distance of, RA is acting at distance X, and 8 kilonewton force is acting at a distance of X minus 1 meter. Okay, so this gives us the value of bending moment as point E and point D as 4.75 and minus 1.75. Now when you write the equation for span DC and you cut the beam here, because of the support reaction RA and applied force 8, the first two part of the equations are same, 4.75 X minus 8 into X minus 1. But now you need to add this 6 kilonewton meter applied moment to this. Now you see it is coming with a positive sign, because the moment due to RA is considered as positive, the clockwise direction has been considered here as positive, and this 6 kilonewton meter couple is also acting in the positive direction, clockwise direction, so it comes with a positive sign here. You can evaluate it for the X equal to 3 and X equal to 5, that means for the point D and C, and find out the value for the bending moment for point D and C. For the span CB, when you write the equation and you cut the beam between C and B and you consider this portion here, left hand side portion of the beam, so you have RA into X minus 8 into X minus 1, then you have 6 kilonewton meter load with a positive sign here, in the acting in a clockwise fashion, the couple, and then the 12 kilonewton meter couple which is acting in a clockwise fashion, that means positive direction. From this you can calculate the value of bending moment at point C and 0. When you plot these values here in this equation, you will get this very interesting shape. So from point A it is getting from 0 to 4.75, you get a straight line here. Then from 4.75 it reaches to minus 1.75, so you come here up to point D. At point D the value changes from minus 1.75 to 4.25, so there is a vertical rise here up to 4.25. Then for point C it reaches again to minus 2.25, so you come back here to a negative value of 2.25. Then exactly at point C again there is a change from minus 2.25 to 9.75, so there is a vertical rise here from 2.25 to 9.75, and finally it comes back to the 0 here. So you see, if the beam is not having any overhang in the case of simply supported beam, so exactly at the supports A and B your bending moment is finally reaching to the 0 value. So this brings us to the end of this today's lecture.